So I kind of did not want to even mention this because it's kind of beneath notice, but because I have a rule, right? I try not to say, like, when I talk about Ralph, which I do every week at this point because he is a phenomenally fascinating person. I try not to call him out on being a hypocrite because it's very easy. Ralph is continuously a hypocrite. He constantly contradicts himself. He makes no effort whatsoever to be consistent. And when he is inconsistent, he does not apologize for it. So it's like, why would I even spend time trying to point out that somebody is a hypocrite? Why would I spend my time trying to correct him, to correct the record? There's no point. Nobody cares. His audience doesn't care. He doesn't care. My audience doesn't care. But in this instance, I will correct Ralph because it is so wrong that it leads me to hypothesize about his mental state, Chad. There is a user on Twitter called VHS Archive, and I don't know too much about them. I think they make little video edits making fun of Ralph. I think Jim has retweeted him. But Ethan Ralph decides, now that I have gotten my ass kicked in Portugal, and I am now stuck in a hotel room, and I refuse to leave my my room and go do anything because there is an imminent risk of me getting my ass kicked again, I'm going to spend time doxing the A-logs. And sure, okay, go for it. So he does. He goes to VHS Archive's YouTube channel, and he pulls up the business inquiry email address, which is lunabucks@gmail.com, which is a very kind of generic name, because if you don't know, it is a My Little Pony reference, I'm pretty sure. Because Luna is the name of one of the god horses, and Bucks is like a horse. So just like a brony email, which is kind of embarrassing to have on your A-log channel. But Ralph, being a genius, decides to go to Google. And this is the behavior you would expect to find someone submitting their first thread, their personal army fail docs thread to the forum. Someone who just does not give a shit and just lazily goes to Google and types in whatever. And then they find any other person called that, and they just assume this has to be the same person. So he does this. And he finds Luna UK, who is as he says, hello VHS. Now this appears to be like a gothic woman from the UK. And he says, I have 100% confirmed this is them BTW. Someone who really doesn't like them hit me with the current and completely accurate info. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. I love being me, he adds. And then this is the Discord message that this incredibly reliable person has. And now this is also the same person, according to them. This is like a cam whore in an interview showing off their shitty art. If it wants to load, which it may not.
My hose, what's going on? It's the Macho Show!
So this person is, according to Ralph, VHS Archives, who is the same person as Luna UK here. But then he continues, because Ralph is a genius. He continues to search Luna Bucks. And, oh no, this is the person. I'm sorry. This is the person who the person in Muslim hijab who put pork rind on this thing. That's not VHS. This is VHS. But then he continues and he decides that I'm gonna Google this Luna Bucks and find more. So he finds a brony with a Japanese name and decides that this person is also the same Luna Bucks. The issue with this, though. We're going to zoom in real close. Get a nice picture of Ralph with that sunburn. And go over here. Manda Huyong. Manda Huyong. That is a very interesting name for a British town. And because they're not from this weeaboo named Luna Bucks with a Japanese name is not a British woman. They are from the Philippines. As you can see here, they post in our Philippines. It looks hella scripted as fuck. So, for whatever reason, Ralph very lazily assumes that this person is a Filipino. This is a Filipino woman in the UK, living in the UK town of Mandaluyongshire, which is a very popular. it's very quaint in there. But he continues. He's on a roll, right? So he Googles Luna Bucks again and finds that there is a YouTube user by the name of Luna Bucks who has a Instagram called Kitty Gets Claws, who is trans. Dun dun dun. So this trans nail artist is also Luna Bucks UK, who is also Filipino. And there we have that Ethan Ralph, the smartest man in the entire world, who loves being him so much, has doxed one of the most prominent A-logs in the sector. And finally, to top it all off, he comes up with a true genius conjecture. He accuses the notorious, because VHS Archive doesn't have a Kiwi Farms account, as far as I'm aware, so he has to tie this to his real A-log enemies at the Kiwi Farms. And who could be the Filipino, British, transgender person on the Kiwi Farms? None other than Gay Stoner, who is a gay man. Well, I mean, I guess they're a transgender Filipino British woman, so being gay ties into that perfectly. And I'm not even like shitting you. He says that this person who is a gay man is also all these other people who are like 8 different Luna Bucks. And then he says, he remembers, aha, I can prove this, he says during his stream. The Kiwi Farms got hacked. I can just go and find what email address he used to register his account, and chances are it will be Luna Bucks. The problem is that the hack happened in 2019. He registered a year afterwards. And the other thing is that he is definitely not from the Philippines or the United Kingdom. So if that's his current conjecture, he is completely wrong. My schizophrenia is rubbing off on Ralph. I'll give you a little opinion. Actually, now that I brought up the fucking pork rinds thing, I have to show his weird thing about the pork rinds. But yeah, no, it's just like this was like the content for his show. This is what people paid him. Like, I think that says $80. He made $80 to go through and fail docs VHS Archive as a transgender British Filipino. And it would, and this is why I don't bother to even point this out unless it's like independently funny, like this is, because his audience doesn't care. His audience is like I guess the audience for WWE, because that's what he thinks of himself. He thinks of himself as like a heel, so his audience doesn't care that it's all bullshit, as long as he's hollering and reminding them of their dad who watched CNN and would holler at the TV. And as long as he just pretends that he's winning, in their minds, they're perfectly satisfied by this. They don't actually need any kind of like substance from this to be satiated. There's no intellectual curiosity from the people who still follow Nick Fuentes and Ethan Ralph. So this suffices, which is why I don't really bother to like correct the record in general. But in this instance, it was funny. He's been going on about this. This is, I don't even know, because if I say it, I'm gonna be wrong. This is the person who's in this video. I think it does look like them. See, this is a lot more convincing than the Luna Buck shit. You can just look at them and kind of tell they're the same. So this weirdo and his weird thought girlfriend, I guess, goes to Gunt Mecca with the offering of pork rinds, and she literally says a prayer and they walk off. And then Ralph says, some fat nasty bitch in a hijab came up to my house, spurred out. I guess she didn't know I had my own cameras out there. Definitely doesn't look like a sane individual. Which kind of reminds me of Drakenlord. because A-Logs would go to Drakenlord's house and like fuck with them because he would like spray them with a water hose and shit. Like it's just gonna become a thing where people, like pay tribute to Guntsville, Virginia, and he's just gonna have to holler and like make a scene every single fucking time, and that'll just be his life. Well, not his life actually, because I mentioned last week that he is staying for 2 weeks overseas. He's already gone to Madrid because he's already done everything that there is to do in fucking Lisbon. And now he's in just like hanging out in Spain. He says that the nightlife is great, so I guess he's fucking more whores in Spain. Meanwhile, May is with the newborn baby girl back at home and dealing with pork rinds being offered at their house like it's a fucking shrine. Like it's the black cube in Mecca. What's that called? It's a K word. Kaaba. They're going to the Kaaba to offer pork rinds at, and he has already said that he intends to extend his vacation. He's only a couple days into it, and he's already planning on staying there. The Buffalo Cube. Is going to stay there even longer. So I don't even know what the fuck he's planning to do. But it's like, just whatever it takes to stay away from May. And by the way, I just received word that as I'm talking about him, he has retweeted something funny. This White King Watch. Retweet this to guard Ethan Ralph, and it has 16 retweets. My child will stalk, swat, and gossip about Ethan Ralph, but then Jesus, my man Jesus, on the right-hand side saying, my child will gunt guard. So the children of Christ will defend this fat piece of shit, and meanwhile, the devils will be making fun of him. I have to say, I really want to know, like, how do I phrase this? I feel like the biggest threat to faith in the United States is the fact that the most loud and out there advocates of faith are people like Ralph and Baked Alaska and Nick Fuentes, and it's truly embarrassing. It's like I feel really bad for people who are like lifelong Roman Catholics from families with like they have 8 brothers and sisters. And then the only Catholics they see on the internet are like Ralph shouting "Cross is King" and Baked Alaska going, "Press P in chat to pray, guys. We're gonna do a rosary stream." And then Nick Fuentes, I don't know, molesting choir boys to LARP as his Roman Catholic. I don't know. That's so. It's like there's nothing that Ben Shapiro could say. Or whatever, whatever Jewish philosopher could say to denigrate religion, worse than the TV evangelist and the modern day TV evangelist like Ethan Ralph. It's just so much. It's so much more embarrassing when it's coming from inside the house, I guess. Pray for Ralph to go to hell. You can't pray for someone to go to hell. Nick says they went to a church recently. He goes every week. No. Christianity is the new internet atheism. It is true. It is the counterculture today. Okay. That's the Ralph win segment. No, there's still more. There's still more. I wish that more people fucked up more consistently besides just Ralph. Because his thing now is that he just yells about the Kiwi farms all day. I wake up. We're in the same time zone. Off by like 2 hours, I think. I think he's in UTC 0 and I'm in +2. And so when I wake up at 8 a.m. and I see that he's been tweeting about the Kiwi farms once an hour at least, every hour for the last 8 hours, I'm just thinking like, so he's been up all night browsing my website while in a hotel in Madrid and just being angry. And I'm kind of curious what the tactic is with this, because when he started it, he would tag Dick Masterson into it. And I remember when that happened. Dick Masterson would also, well, years ago when I still talked to Dick, he picked up this trend when PPP first started trolling him and he was kind of losing his grip on like the cool guy status. I told him, you need to stop arguing on Twitter by replying to people on the Kiwi Farms on Twitter, because you're doing two things. Number one, you're pissing off, people and getting them to come after you. You're feeding the trolls, basically. And number two, you're causing problems for me, because when I know you and you're like deliberately provoking the shit out of my own community, it's like you're gonna force me to like stop fucking talking to you eventually, which is exactly what happened. But I told Dick this, he didn't listen. Then eventually he did listen, because he no longer replies to people in his thread very often. But now Ralph is doing this, and he's tagging Dick when he starts doing it. And it's like my schizo, like, paranoid side of my brain is thinking, like, did Dick tell him to do this? Like, you should really own the A-logs. Just, like, argue with them. Like, screen cap their posts and, like, say that they're a faggot on Twitter. Because if Dick is like a secret troll, a secret genius troll, trying to get Ralph to destroy himself, like, that's what you would tell him. And it's like, is that what's happening? Is there like a secret like long game redemption arc going on behind the scenes? I doubt it, but it's a theory, because nothing I see refutes it, chat. That's the thing. Dick blocks everyone like Ralph, Pussy Pedro. Yeah, but he doesn't respond to everyone like Ralph's been doing. So, I'm gonna get a drink of water. He's been working with Pot Awful. So, Ralph says here, May 30th, in response to Vickers, because he still has the multiple legal issues with them, they're literally posting... Why does he type so horrifically? They're literally posing my son on Twitter in the style of Kiwi Farms memes. Never forget how sick my enemies are. I know I never will. The hatred is my fuel for life. The sick guy behind it all just posted some long-ass rant justifying his behavior. Fact is, you're using a 1-year-old child to score internet points. Lowercase I internet points. And you're fucking evil. I'm not mincing words. Everyone sees how sick you are, even the ones cheering. He's upset because they put up like a wish list for birthday presents, because Xander just turned 1. And I heard that a lot of people were big fans of me singing happy birthday to Xander. But some of the presents that he received for his birthday was a Kiwi plushie and a corncob plushie, which... on one hand, completely innocuous. There is literally nothing wrong with these plushies. A little kid would love them. Kiwis are very, very cute. They're the most adorable bird. And that corncob is cute too. But there will come a day where little Xander turns 13 and he decides to Google his dad's name, who unfortunately passed away. He was beaten to death in Paris in 2022 by melanated gentlemen, by melanated West African French people. And he looks himself up and he finds out that all the corn and kiwi shit in his room that he's had his entire life are weird gifts from internet people who bought these things just to piss off his dad. And that's a bit of a weird realization, I think, that most normal people don't go through. So there is a slight point to be made there. Not that I care much. It's really hard to feel bad for Ralph, because he just doesn't give a fuck. He took credit for it. I don't know if he actually did anything, but my Kiwi Farms.net Twitter account was suspended, and then he took credit for it. He unironically posted this fucking video of himself. Hold up. Oh god, someone. It's just him lighting up another big black dick and puffing on it, with horrible black people music playing. And I don't get it. And that's like his happy joy that we got suspended. I appealed it, but I don't know. By the way, Tex 15 also took credit. Yeah, the Brazilian furry. I mean, I don't know. Apparently, it's for ban evasion, but I don't think I've ever had like a Kiwi Farms Twitter account. It is. If I did, it must have been like 2016 or something when I had that. And it's like, how fucking nuts is it that you get banned? Your site gets banned in 2016, and then they ban you for it like 6 years later. So they just like have this completely purified platform where you are never forgiven of sin ever. All I did was post like little transparency reports and occasionally like a tweet or something. Very nuts. So I don't know the details of this. Just two things. PPP and Andy Worski are both Canadian. I guess they're in Vancouver, because that would make sense, I guess. But they have announced that they're going to go. They have been invited by Matthew Vickers to fly to California, Ontario, Toronto. I'm getting different opinions about this. I don't know. They're from Canada. Canada's a small place. It's a big country, but there's like 4 cities in it that people actually live in. But Mr. Vickers has invited them, PPP and the other one, Andy Worski, out to California to see Xander. And on top of this DM leaked by very, very credible source, Cringe Mama, says, from Faith, so do you think it would cause a problem? What do you mean, replies the recipient. I don't want to cuck my boyfriend. He is so wonderful, but I think it will be the only time Andy and PPP are in town. Which the person replies, that is kind of between the 4 of you. I know, but I really need advice on this. I don't know. If I don't go for it, I will never know if it could happen, you know. So Faith Vickers is planning to fuck, allegedly, from very reliable source, Cringe Mama, planning to fuck either and or PPP or Andy Worski in what I imagine is, can you do it with 4 people? Yeah, I guess you have a butthole. She could take three at once, though I don't know. PPP would have to be in the front. He's probably too big, too big to fit in the back with somebody, but. I don't know if PPP could enjoy sex that wasn't anal. I feel bad for that. I don't. I'm not putting it past Faith to want to fuck people that Ralph hates. That seems to be her MO at this point. This is just pathetic at this point. Dude, this is like white trash 100%. My baby mama fucked my worst enemies. And just sitting there saying, Mari, I need you to test and see if that baby's mine. And she's like, no, it has to be yours. I only fucked 3 people, but I know when my cycle is. And then Mari does the dramatic reveal. Ethan Ralph, in the case of little Xander, you are not the father. And then he does the backwalk thing where he like moonwalks and dances. And there's the picture of the baby in the back on the widescreen TV just looking lost and confused. Oh, wow. Okay, what's this? Oh, that's right. Ralph says Burger King in Europe is fucking great, actually. It's weird, LOL. They seem to treat it as a premium burger place. So he goes to Portugal, he gets Burger King. He goes to Madrid, he gets Burger King. He is like a fucking, like a trope, an Amerishart trope. Goes to foreign countries, eats McDonald's. And then he's like, it's so much better over here. It's like 80% beef instead of 60% beef like it is back home. Those EU regulations sure are good for something. They treat it like a premium burger place. I have eaten, I'll tell you, this is a true story. I was turned around at the gate of Switzerland. I went to Geneva once. And I was stopped by Swiss people. I told this on stream before. Let me tell you a little bit about Switzerland from my experience in Switzerland, which was at the airport entirely in Geneva. All the women there have short haircuts. Oh, sorry, I'm tapping my foot. All the women there have short haircuts. They speak in the most obnoxious high pitch ever. Just hearing Swiss German gave me a serious migraine. They speak 4 languages, none of them correctly. And the Burger King at the Geneva airport is 25 Swiss francs for a meal. For a burger, fries, and a regular soda, that will be 25 Swiss francs. And it was not any better than Burger King in the United States. So, I don't like, and I've had Burger King, like, I don't know, I've had fast food in a couple different places. And it's not that much better. I'll tell you what, the best Burger King I ever had was in the Philippines. They had like this 4 cheeseburger with jalapenos on it. I don't know if that was like a local or just like a time sensitive thing. But I got fat eating burgers in the Philippines. But that was, I have an excuse for this, chat. I was programming the very successful software suite, Infinity Next, for the very successful image board 8chan at the time. And I did not have time, chat, to actually prepare food for myself because I was so busy. Which is why I ate a 4 cheese Burger King meal every day for like 6 months, and I gained like 50 pounds. Jollibees. Oh man, if it was like late at night, I would get some fucking Jollibees. Those burgers are so tiny, so you just get like 4 of them. Sorry, I'm having a Marishart flashbacks to when I didn't restrict myself in eating in any way, and I would just order a bunch of Jollibees late at night. Frederick loved Jollibees too, by the way. The little cripple guy who owned 8chan. He had soft teeth because his bones were shit, and that included his teeth. So he couldn't eat anything hard. But he liked their applesauce and their French fries at Jollibees. And if you don't know, Jollibees is a burger chain in the Philippines. McDonald's isn't very popular in the Philippines because they have Jollibees. And their logo is like a little ant, a little smiley ant, and they serve little burgers. And they're okay. What's my excuse for being fat now? I'm still losing weight, bub. Anyways, there's a Jollibee in Texas. They're spreading. When I looked it up back in 2016, there were no Jollibees in the United States except for California, where all the Filipinos live. Bug burgers. No, not the bugs. That might be all I have for this stream, just so you know. Let me check my notes. That is all I have for this stream. Such is life, chat. Thank you, Ethan Rao, for your sacrifice of continued and perpetual failure for occupying half my stream.